So, today is the 1st of March, which means it is St. David's Day. Happy St. David's Day to you. St. David is the patron saint of Wales, and I feel I can legitimately celebrate this day because on my mother's side I do have a fair amount of Welsh blood. So I am wearing a Welsh rugby shirt. Note, the Welsh rugby team did in fact beat the English rugby team at the weekend. I'm listening to some Welsh music. They're a Welsh band based in London, quite near to where I grew up actually. That is where they're based now, and I had the pleasure of listening to them play and talking to them as well when they did a gig in Portland a couple of years ago, and that was fantastic. So I thought, how do I make a cocktail to celebrate? And there's not very many Welsh themed cocktails. I didn't find anything made with daffodils, the national flower of Scotland, nor with leeks, the kind of national vegetable, I suppose, of Wales. But I did find one which we're going to make today, and it is called the Prince of Wales cocktail. It is named after the son of Queen Victoria, who in his 60 years of training to take her job as Edward VII, got to be a bit of a playboy and went to America and apparently had a hand in creating this cocktail. This cocktail is in fact a kind of an improved, and improved means has a specific term, an improved old-fashioned. The improved part of that apparently means the adding of a liqueur like absinthe, or in this case, Luxardo maraschino liqueur. So we're going to make this, and it's like I say, it's a riff on an old-fashioned, which means it's going to be with whiskey. And I wanted to make this as well. It's called the Prince of Wales. When I was growing up on the estate in London, we went down to the local pub, and at first it was the Victory, which was built next to my block of flats where I lived. But then eventually the place that became the favoured venue was the Prince of Wales, just down there on Hampstead Road. And I used to have great days going down, meet my mates, and maybe going to the bookies. This was before I went to university, you know, so when I was a sort of teenager. And and it was not the greatest place to go to if you had a birthday, as I found out to my great chagrin when I turned, I don't know, 18, 19, something like that. And the rule in Britain, which I don't know if many people, well, my British friends will know this, is when it's your birthday, you buy other people drinks. And that was the norm. And I went there on my, like I say, 18 or 19, and I went up buying a round of drinks for everyone in the pub. And it cost me then, I don't know, £70, £80, something like that, which was a huge amount of money. And I tell this story to Americans, they're like, what? You buy them drinks? They don't buy you drinks? And you know, you go to work, and actually at the workplace, if it's your birthday, you buy the cake on your birthday to give to other people. Yeah, I don't know, I still don't think that makes sense. So maybe I'll just have a drink to forget about the trauma that inevitably caused me. I was just about to open the whiskey there, the rye whiskey, and then I realised I've got to do one thing first. I've got some pineapple here. It's a bit of an unusual ingredient. You've got to cut a fresh wedge of pineapple and put that into the bottom of your shaker. Get a muddling stick. If you don't have a muddling stick, a rolling pin or something will do. You just want to crush the pineapple in the bottom of the shaker that you're going to use, like so. That's well muddled, you might be able to see. Put in some ice into your shaker and then start adding your ingredients. I'm using a different rye whiskey. I wanted to try this for a while. This is a 100 proof rye whiskey called Old Forester, and it smells delicious. We're going to find out what it tastes like in a cocktail by putting 2 ounces of this good stuff, I hope good stuff, having not tried it before, 2 ounces of that in there. And then we want a 1/6 of an ounce of the liqueur, the maraschino liqueur. And I don't have that in a jigger, but I did find this convenient shot glass which has a 5ml version on there, and 5 millilitres, it turns out, is the same as a 1/6 of an ounce. Who knew? So I'm going to do that. We'll take a little bit of measuring out, and that is right. 1/6 of an ounce there, or 5 mils, as I said. The other is, of course, sugar syrup, as would be in a normal old-fashioned, or is there such a thing as a normal anything? I don't really know. And it's the same amount, about a 1/6 of an ounce. Again, about 5 millilitres in more Euro-y and European and well, almost everywhere else in the world kind of measurement. And then it just takes a dash of Angostura bitters, like so. We're going to shake this puppy up. And it turns out there's going to be even more stuff and one more interesting ingredient in there as well. But first of all, let's strain that into our cocktail glass. Like so. And the extra ingredient, and this is a way bit different to a regular old-fashioned, it's supposed to be topped up with brut champagne. I don't have, legit French champagne in the house, but I do have, as I've mentioned before, my emergency little bottles of Prosecco, and I think that will do the trick quite nicely. You just top that up there, like so, and you top up the glasses into a cocktail glass, and then I thought it would have taken a wedge of pineapple as the garnish, but no, the recipe said a slice of orange. So I am just going to take a small piece of orange like this, give it a little cut so that it will stay on the side of the glass, and we'll see what we get, and I'll also be able to practice my only Welsh phrase. Oh yes, Iechyd da, or cheers in Welsh.